Hello friends, my topic for today is registration in the hotel or the guest registration during the time of check-in. Now this is a short or a step during the time of check-in procedure followed by the hotel or by the front desk assistant to register the guest staying in the hotel during the time of check-in. So I will briefly explain what is registration, what all things or documents required for the registration, and how is the process or how is registration done during the time of check-in. So moving on, we have what is registration. Now it's an agreement between hotel and the guest. Now during the time of check-in, the front desk assistant will do the check-in, and in the middle a registration part will come, whereas the guest is registered in the hotel. Now sorting all the guest details, the front desk assistant will get all the details, be it if the guest provides his or her business card, then all the details will be mentioned there. So the front desk assistant will get all the details from the guest and all the documents required for the registration, that is passport, visa or identity card or the driving license or anything that is accepted by the hotel as a documents. Then in the hotel guest registration card, all the hotel terms and conditions will be mentioned. So the front desk assistant, he will read out and explain to the guest what all are the terms and conditions that the guest has to abide by, and guest and front desk agent's signature. Now once the guest agrees all the terms and conditions, provides all his details and documents, then guest will sign on it in the guest registration card along with the front desk agent's signature. Now hence they will come up to a mutual agreement whereby guest signs and agrees to pay for the product and services provided by the hotel, and front desk agent, the representative of the hotel, will also sign and agree to the guest that the hotel will provide all the required product and service to the guest. Now for the next slide, we have this is how is guest registration done during the time of check-in. Now we have guest registration card. So this is the sample guest registration card from one of the hotel. Now we have first of all the hotel logo or the name of the hotel, and we have guest confirmation number, that is reservation confirmation number. Once the reservation is confirmed for the guest, they will get the confirmation number. So this is the number, and the member indicates if the guest is a member of the hotel's loyalty program, then a membership number will also be mentioned in the guest registration card. Now moving on to, we have all the guest details like guest name, date of birth, nationality, their occupation, company, address, and all the document details like passport or ID card number, their expiry date, issued by, date of issue, and most importantly we also decide mode of payment during the time of registration. That could be cash, credit card or city ledger or any other mode of payment. Then we have stay details like check-in date, check-in time, checkout date, checkout time, then room type, room number, how many person in the room, then what is the rate the guest is going to pay for their stay. Then most importantly, the billing comments or the meal plan of the guest. Now that is whether the guest is having the bed and breakfast or half board or full board. And we have hotel liability, payment and privacy policy. Now this is all explained by the front desk agent to the guest during the time of check-in, and once the guest understands and agrees on it, then the guest will put his signature on the guest signature column. Then along with that we have clerk signature or the front desk agent signature. Then they will provide their signature, both the guest and the clerk. And if the guest is not the part of a particular hotel's loyalty program, then the guest can enroll as a loyalty program if they are interested during the time of check-in or during the time of guest registration. Now we have something called pre-registration. Now this is actually the activities that is carried out before the arrival of the guest. Now this is usually done for the VIP guest. Now all the information for all the VIP guest or during the all the information required during the time of pre-registration is sought out from the reservation and guest history. If the guest have previously stayed with the company or with the property, then all the information are put on the guest registration card. And we have, very importantly, a very good advantage for this pre-registration card, that is, it allows front desk to make necessary arrangement in advance before the arrival of the guest, so that there is fast check-in or fast registration card, leading to a happy guest, right? Guest is only required to sign on the guest registration card, that is usually placed in the room. So we also call it in-room check-in. So during this pre-registration time, all the information are sought out and the registration card is placed in the guest room. Most of the time placed in the guest room. And it also depends upon hotel whether the registration has to be done in the hotel lobby or the reception or in the room. So most of the time we do in-room check-in, and all the hotel liabilities and payment is pre-decided during the time of reservation itself, and guest is only required to sign on the guest registration card. And we have a very short registration process. Now, registration process and the check-in process, there is slightly difference between them, because registration is part of the check-in process, whereas check-in is a very long, or it's a whole process during the time of the arrival of guest in the hotel. Now, first of all, we have identification of guest. Now we have to, once the guest arrives to the hotel, we have to identify the guest for the registration, whether the guest is pre-registered or whether the guest is like walk-in, whether the guest have confirmed reservation or not. Then moving on to next step, we have formation of registration records. Now once we have identified the guest, if it is a confirmed guest, then we have kept the registration card ready, and we can proceed on with the registration records. Then if it is a walk-in guest, then we have to fix the rate and assign the room for the guest and take out a guest registration card and go on with the registration. Now, establishment of mode of payment. So this is a part during the time of registration where a front desk agent will establish a mode of the payment by how the guest is going to pay for the hotel, be it by cash, be it by credit card or city ledger or guaranteed to company, and etc. Now the last step is completion of check-in procedure. Now once all the registration is done, then the front desk agent will finish all the check-in procedure. Then a record is maintained for the guest, and all the registration documents, be it like passport, visa and everything, all the guest details that is sought out from the guest is attached and put into the guest profile for the guest history or for the guest record. So that's it for now. Thank you so much.